Hi, welcome to another Patio Time with Patrick. I'm joined today with Owen from multiple things, 613Chaos, Anvil of War, and anything else I'm forgetting there? Well, roller derby.
Those are my two main things. So I think in relation to what we're talking about.
Yeah. So cheers, welcome aboard.
Yeah.
You're also involved with a big thing called Capital Bloodbath, which is one of the big Warhammer 40k events, I understand, in Ottawa.
Capital City Bloodbath, yeah. I'm involved with it in that I'm attending it.
Okay, I thought you're not doing any running or anything.
We're going to be doing some table sponsorship through the YouTube channel, just like providing more gaming space, because obviously Capital City Bloodbath is going to have well over 100 tables of terrain going on.
That's great. So that's amazing. And that's taking place at ED Center?
The EY Center, yeah.
EY Center, August 16th?
Yep, August 16th to 18th. So from the time of this video, it's about 2 weeks away.
No, a week. Next week?
No, it's not. It is next week. It's
next
Friday.
Next Friday, yeah. That's what
I just look at it in terms of weekends.
Okay. That's a good planning for that.
Yeah. So I'm going to be going down with Adam from Anvil of War is going to be there. Nathan from Anvil of War is going to be there. Richard from Anvil of War is going to be there. We're going to be shooting video.
You guys going to do like a live broadcast, or?
I don't think we'll do a live broadcast. That's more of your guys' thing, and I think you guys do it really well. But we're going to just be doing more of a coverage video for the event, like we did last year.
Yes, that was really well done.
That was our first foray into the kind of Anvil on the Road series, which, we explore different 40k gaming events, and yeah.
Are you guys going to Warzone in September?
I'm hoping to attend Warzone Montreal. I'm on the fence right now. So for those who aren't familiar with what Capital City Bloodbath is, Canhammer, who maybe we could link to their YouTube channel on this video. They're a big 40k and gaming kind of crew here, based out of Ottawa and based out of Cornwall and the surrounding valley area. They put on this event every year called Capital City Bloodbath, and it is a major 40k event. There is an Age of Sigmar portion to it as well, such as Batman miniatures games and I believe maybe X-Wing. Other things, they have a used miniatures sale on the Sunday, a garage sale, so it kind of turns into like an open market for people to kind of sell their used minis. But
it's primarily Warhammer 40k.
It's primarily Warhammer 40k, but it is a very premium gaming event, and I was excited to kind of attend it last year, just shooting video. This year, I'm actually going to be participating in the tournament and exploring it to a better, more fuller level. So
now you're going as Anvil of War, which is one of the other ones you do. So talk a little bit about Anvil of War.
So I am going to be going just as myself, as 613Chaos, which is kind of my personal brand. I look at it as kind of a gamer tag. You know what I mean? Like when you game with somebody online, you're like, oh hey, that's this person. I'm 613Chaos because it's a little more catchy than Owen.
Yes. No, I have to ask. Did that come from being on the Ottawa 613?
Yeah. So some origins of the 613Chaos brand was I drew from the area code just being 613, and for a lot of my Warhammer 40k experience, I've always kind of played chaos-based armies, and I like to be the bad guy. So it's been a good ride, and Chaos has always been in a really fun and exciting place to explore and enjoy. So for me, that brand just kind of made sense. And right now I'm on tour with the Purple Plague, which is my Nurgle army, which we've painted up purple. So they started their journey in Adepticon this year when I painted up a ton of models to get them ready for the journey down to Adepticon. And since they've been to the CTC here in Ottawa, which you guys did a fantastic job of covering.
Thank you.
They went down to Buffalo. They went down to the Beef and Wing tournament down in Buffalo. Absolutely phenomenal guys. Shout out to the whole Beef and Wing crew. That was an amazing event. I will be back next year. And then we went down to TGX last month. So we've been actually doing a tournament a month. Yeah.
613, you also have your YouTube channel.
I don't have I have a YouTube channel, but it's mostly just leave comments.
Okay.
I don't make content on YouTube through 613Chaos. My YouTube content creation is done through Anvil of War Gaming. So Anvil of War Gaming, we're going to leave a little link, maybe in this video. They do a lot of other things. I'm part of a team of gamers on that, so I wouldn't say I'm Anvil of War. Like I'm very much a part of
Nathan, Richard,
a team. Yeah. So we got Nathan, we got Richard, we got Adam, we got Ken. all of whom draw from a very different, diverse background of things that we do.
I know Ken's your basic video edit, audio guy there.
Yeah.
He does all.
Ken's our behind the scene guy. Adam is kind of our coordination with sponsorship. Nathan is our sexiest member. I'm just like the chaos guy. And
you do interesting battle reports.
Richard, yeah, me and Nathan have some really fun chemistry together, and Richard's got fantastic painting skills. In fact, he's won a couple of painting competitions here in Ottawa lately. So,
is there a painting competition taking place at Capital City?
Yeah, there is. So, Capital City Bloodbath, every entrant or applicant, however you want to say it, who registers for the event is automatically placed in the painting competition. So you can select a miniature from your army, or you can submit a different miniature. There's no limit on it being a Games Workshop miniature or whatever. Any miniature you want. You can put it in the painting competition, and Zach Lyons from Brushfire Studios is going to be judging it with, I'm assuming, a team of judges. So there's going to be a really nice models at Capital City Bloodbath as well. So.
He's not doing any tutorials this year. He's actually just
I don't believe so. I believe Capital City Bloodbath is strictly a gaming event, as it's been in the past. I don't know what number this is for them. This may be the 4th or 5th. I haven't been in the hobby that long.
Pretty big.
It's huge. Like, having been to a couple I only started going to events this year. So, we kicked off. Well, I mean, we went to Adepticon last year, and that was big, but I kind of just game with friends. And then we went to Adepticon this year, and that was when all of a sudden we were like, okay, we got like a crew of people who are very dedicated. Why not we try attending some other stuff? So we did CTC in Ottawa, which was easy because I was up the street from my house. And then that's when we started meeting people, and it was like, okay, Buffalo seems really cool. TGX was kind of cool. No offense to anybody who runs TGX or maybe watching this video. TGX was a very competitive tournament, and I can admire that. I just don't think it was for me. Oh, you're more just the fun, have a good time. I like going out and having a good game of 40K, but I was struggling to survive in the lowest bracket. And that says something to the caliber of players that are there at TGX. Yeah. Like, they are a solid crew. So everybody who's at TGX, pat yourself on the back. You guys are contenders. I just think it's a little too hardcore for me. You're more the laid back sort of. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I went. You know what I mean? Like, it was really fun. It was in Mississauga, at the Sandman Hotel, and it was neat. Yeah, it was neat. Is there any more coming up for you? So we got Capital City Bloodbath. We got Capital City Bloodbath this month in August, about 2 weeks from now, and then myself and some of my. So we got an Anvil of War, but we also have our gaming crew, which is called Hammer House. Hammer House is a collective of amateur gamers and painters and hobbyists, really. Are you guys on social media yet? Yeah, you can check. We'll put a link in there. Is for the Instagram, which is our only social media for Hammer House. It's mostly just like group shots of us like hanging out, and then it's links to all of our personal profiles type thing. But Hammer House 40K is a group of maybe 12 people now. Like, it is getting big. Basically, we've just all kind of decided, like, when we do these big tournaments, let's all go under one banner. And Hammer House, that's it feels like we're home together. So, it's pretty fun. And we do a lot of ITC events because the ITC format's actually really good. I didn't know what ITC was until CTC this year. So I started to dip my toes in this year. And I would say I'm not a veteran by any means, but you're learning and you've had fun. It's really fun. Like, I don't think there's any bad games of ITC. It's bad matchups. Okay. So, like, you'll go up against something that it's like, I have no chance against this. Now, is Capital City ITC? Yes, it is. Yeah. Is it everything else besides ITC, or just Capital City Bloodbath is an ITC major, which means you're going to play 6 games in the event. A grand tournament means you only play 5. Yeah. So CTC was a major event. A major event usually means there's about 70 people registered for the event too, so there is a larger draw of players. Capital City Bloodbath is sitting somewhere around 110 people right now, so it's huge. This is going to be a big bracket, which is good for someone like myself, because when you take that horrendous loss and you plummet into which happens, you plummet into like the lower bracket. You can survive in that mid bracket and really enjoy yourself, because there's going to be some really good games down there. Whereas the top tables, it's like pretty ruthless, pretty hard, and it's like very, very they're games that you have to be very careful and you know,
you can't make
know
one
your
mistake.
stuff. Yeah, no mistakes.
Well, I was like watching.
It's like playing hard mode.
Well, it's not watching CTC. Some of the top guys, like bad dice rolls can hurt, but at their level, they're not counting on dice. They're doing more like paying attention.
It's
to
movement. It's deployment.
Tactics.
It's yeah. There's a lot of things
knowing you're
going on.
at whatever part of your army can do and how to defend.
A huge skill is actually knowing your opponent's army too, right? Like there's something like 31 factions in Warhammer 40,000 right now. So there's like a large diversity of what you can go up against. Obviously some armies are hotter than others. So
yeah, right now it seems to be a lot of Death Guard is one of the bigger ones now.
Death Guard was strong out of the gate at 8th edition. They were a newer army, so the power creep that happens with Games Workshop. Games Workshop wants to sell miniatures. They're going to make their new miniatures very strong. As they released the codexes, those codexes were stronger. So Death Guard came early in the mix,
and they came,
which meant things coming out after it were stronger than the thing that came out. Death Guard's held its own. We're a good mid-bracket army, really fun to play with, very frustrating to play against.
Yes,
because they're very hard to kill.
Yes, they keep going and going.
But you're seeing a lot right now in the top brackets. You're seeing Knights. Of both the Loyalist and the Chaos variant, because Chaos Knights are a thing now. You're seeing Eldar Flyers, which just like spamming Dark Eldar and Eldar Planes, because you can't melee them and they're hard to hit, and they just pick your army apart and move away from you. So it's really frustrating to play. I have been fortunate enough not to play it yet. But I know it's coming.
I've even seen Guard come back now, because in 8th edition, Guards were like Imperial Guard, sort of the Adeptus Militarium.
Yep.
I still call them Guard, I'm old school.
They're Imperial Guard.
They're Imperial Guard.
I like the Imperial Guard. The Guard usually complement Knights. You don't see a lot of solo Guard armies. Like, you always have the Knight contingent with it. But then you also see Chaos Demons, which are very competitive right now, with Thousand Suns, Allies, and maybe Chaos.
And also now, because they started introducing Primarchs, you've seen a few Primarchs in there.
But you only got Magnus, Mortarion, and Gulliman.
Yeah.
So you only have those three, of which Gulliman is very strong. He's always been very strong. Mortarion and Magnus is a little different, because they operate independently, where Gulliman can hide behind the troops, right? And he just buffs the crap out of them, and it makes the whole army terrifying. Whereas Mortarion just has to kind of run at you by himself and hope he doesn't die, which he always dies, as I found out at CTC.
Well, that's the thing, and I've had an issue with whenever you introduce the demigod and stuff like that, and that's what people are going to go for.
He gets shot off the table turn one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everyone
like,
just
right,
goes, we have to kill that, no matter
that
what.
was 25% of my list. That was well spent.
Yeah. Now
But if you get first turn,
yes, you're
you get him in there.
You haven't been involved too long in Warhammer and that.
This summer, I believe maybe I've been in the hobby for 3 years.
Oh, really?
Not long.
What'd you do? Did you do anything gaming-wise before that, or?
I mean, how I found out about Warhammer was the video games. Like, I grew up playing Dawn of War, Dawn of War 2, and I didn't really understand what the universe was that I was playing. You know what I mean? I was like, who's the Emperor? Like, what are they talking about? You know what I mean? Because it's like you're just getting the voice commands with like all the models that you're moving.
Yes.
I really liked just like the art and everything. So I actually went out and I wanted to buy like a coffee table book that was going to be like an overview of the 40K universe. Good luck, right?
Oh,
to talk about the 40K universe, you need like 45 minutes to like get the intro.
Yeah.
So I actually ended up going to Games Workshop.
The one at Coliseum here?
The one at Coliseum here in Ottawa, we have a Games Workshop. The Games Workshop there at the time, we were in 7th edition, and they had the rule book, like the lore overview, and like a gallery of miniatures book that was sold in like kind of a trilogy. So I ended up buying that. And that's where it began, because I read through that lore book, I was like, wow. And then I read through the gallery book, and I was like, these minis are awesome. And then I started reading the rule book, and I was like, what? And then
yes.
So then I bought a starter set, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna play this. Maybe it'll just be like a board game, because I'm into board games.
Yes.
And you know, maybe I'll just have like this board game. Started playing Chaos, loved them, expanded my Chaos collection, slowly expanded my Dark Angels collection.
Well, they're almost Chaos in a way. So.
Everybody makes that joke.
Everybody
makes that joke, but as a Chaos player, maybe I chose the internet joke faction that they're a Chaos loyalist army. Dark Angels are pretty loyal, man.
Oh, they are. They are.
I got mad respect for the Dark Angels, and I really am on the fence right now about playing them at Capital City Bloodbath. They're not a good army right now.
No,
but they're so fun to play.
Isn't there new rules coming out, or not rules, but you know?
We're seeing a hike in Space Marines right now.
Yes.
Currently, in summer 2019, Space Marines, you do not see them at tournaments. They're not out there. They're not a competitive army. They lack a lot of the tools that the other armies are using to manipulate the game. And Space Marines just need a piece of that. So Games Workshop is re-releasing the Codex for Space Marines, and it's looking like they're going to have some tools.
Oh yeah,
they're going to have some shenanigans.
They have like I was reading some one of their vehicles there is like it's people they can move.
Flying rhinos and
oh yeah,
they got stealth marines and sniper dudes that can
they have a
fall back and
stealth
overwatch.
Dreadnought, a stealth dreadnought. No, it's like
Games Workshop's just taking a big shit on the lore all the time.
Oh yes, well
they just don't care.
Like Primaris Marines. Like, that
I'm
was
over it. I hated Primaris when they came out.
But now they're talking about like there's gonna be in Chaos. Right?
Yeah.
There's like
well, Fabius Bile's been like trying to get on the Primaris guys because he wants to build like a Chaos version.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Chaos needs it.
No.
I just think we, in our 10,000 years in the warp, we got the same tools as the Primaris. Why should they have better tools? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't need the same lore.
But they can sell more this way.
We don't need Primaris Marines, though.
No.
We just need the same rules as them. So, like, we act the same, which is easy. Games Workshop just has to do it, you know, but I'm not Games Workshop.
Now, for Anvil of War, did you do anything in high school or afterwards, like for video, like stuff where you have fun?
Yeah, so I was in communications technologies in high school, and I went on to study that in university for a little bit before dropping out.
Here's to that.
Cheers to not spending all my money in university.
He's got more money for game stuff now.
I went to college. I did photography and multimedia there. And graduated from that. So, yeah, I don't actually do any video editing for Anvil of War because Ken and Adam are very protective of their process, which I can understand. Like
they do a good job. They do a really good job.
It's their brainchild, and they're doing a fantastic job on it. I also don't think I would personally have the time to edit video. I know what it takes. Yeah. So huge cheers to Ken. Cheers to Adam.
Yes.
You guys are doing a good job, and you know, I'm honored to be a part of it.
You're one of the faces then.
That's it. I'm a personality on the channel for now, and you know what? A role that I've taken with Anvil of War is that I've been able to attend events wearing their shirt, interacting with the community, and actually it's really cool going to things like Adepticon, going to TGX, and people recognize me.
Yes,
I'm like, I don't know who you are, but you know what I mean? This means a lot that like you're interacting with us in a way that humans haven't interacted with each other.
Well, it's also I find
10 years ago.
Yes, no,
you know
but I also find like the community helps for everyone else, right? They're like, oh, we don't really know you, but we're willing to work with you or help you out. So that's a good thing. Now, I know you're married.
I am.
This year, right?
No, I'm 3 years married in September.
Oh, sorry.
I know, it's time's flying, man.
How does your wife handle? Because I know sometimes it's hard to do.
Yeah, I mean, Kenzie's a miraculous woman, and her support for Warhammer has been crazy, because, you know, it is a crazy game. It involves a lot of miniatures, a lot of time, but the way I look at it is, or the way she might look at it, is that it is an investment in your own enjoyment, right?
Yeah. Well, she also has her own hobbies too. She does the roller.
Yeah, Kenzie and I have always got along by being each other's independent, but like shared experiences, right? So like, for her, she came up with a lot of things about why Warhammer is actually great when one of her friends asked about it, and she was just like, if you think about it, you know, there's a lot of tactile skills involved. There's a lot of numerical memory, to like all the stats, all the gameplay. Like I'm thinking about this game when I'm not playing this game. I'm on the toilet building lists.
There's there's strategy and tactics. Like if you're on the kill team, which is a small group, you know, like it's 5 to 10, 15 at the most. Yeah. If you're orcs, you got a lot. But there's a lot of tactics there. You can't just like I'm just going to place. You have to think what you're doing. Same with 2000K, but 2000K now there's also some strategy involved of like, okay, what list am I going to do? How am I doing? So there's a lot of, you know, thinking involved and planning.
Well, I mean, like when I plan a game with a friend for Warhammer 40K, it's all I think about
Yeah.
leading up to the game that day. You know what I mean? I'm like thinking about my list. I haven't made any changes. Like I'm not that kind of guy. But like I'm thinking about how I'm gonna move my list, how it's gonna attack, how it's gonna strike. You know, what parts are manageable to make switches if I have to make them. You know, and what am I up against? So it's a really cool game that really kind of gets the gears going. And you know, it comes with the whole hobby side, which I'm super into. I have a super well-connected community, even here in the Ottawa area.
Ottawa's got a really big. I didn't realize how many just Warhammer 40k gaming groups there are in Ottawa. Like,
I think it's a little fractured. Like if we're gonna just opinion side piece.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
I think it's a little fractured because we are not a big city, and there are a lot of people that play 40k. So why have all these different communities like East, West, Gatineau? You know what I mean? Like we need to just kind of
try to
realize.
get together one banner, like not one banner, but like.
I understand it's situational, right? Like, and it's also location based, and Ottawa is kind of spread out.
Well, yeah, like you said, Gatineau is the Quebec side.
Yeah.
And you know, the West is Orleans.
Yeah, you got like out of the box games here, and you got Games Workshop here. And then in the East End, you got Kessel Run, you got my personal sponsor, Red Dragon Games, which just opened last
weekend, yeah.
Yes, I haven't been down to the store yet, sorry Dan, but I'm going to be on my way down as soon as I can here.
Well, since you're one of your sponsors, would you mind talking about...
yeah, so let's leave a little link for Red Dragon Games.
Yep.
Red Dragon Games is a new store here in the Ottawa area, owned by Dan, Dan the Man. He also owns Sequence Comics and Games in Brockville.
Okay, yes.
Sequence Comics and Games is the official sponsor for Anvil of War Gaming. So he's given us a ton of product support over the year and a half that we've been doing this crazy venture. And he has been nothing but supportive. He's a great facet in the competitive community, and he's on another level though. Like he's got Magic the Gathering. He's got
also Red Dragon does comics as well as cards, not just
Magic is any store's moneymaker.
Well, yes,
right? 40k is very niche and it takes up a lot of space. Where Magic doesn't take up a lot of space, generates a lot of profit, and there's a large community for that as well. So I'm excited to see where Red Dragon goes. I got to get down to the store and play some games down there. There's just a lot of things to do, really.
So Anvil,
not enough time.
So Anvil of War is doing really well. Like you guys have come along. Like you guys.
I think we're pushing like 2,600 subscribers on YouTube right now, which is huge. Honestly,
we're jealous.
Honestly, the more battle reports that we can pump out, the more stuff.
Yeah, I gotta
just gather more people, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just the more content you produce, the more people you interact with, the more people want to see and follow your content. Yeah. So I think it's all about focusing in on what you want to do, because if you take something and you're like, yeah, I want to do Star Trek and X-Wing and this and that, like your audience becomes suddenly really diluted.
I'm finding that out, yes.
Yeah, like whereas us right now is like Anvil of War set out and it was like we want to do 40k, we want to do Age of Sigmar, we want to do this and that and this, and I'm like, maybe it should just be 40k, and the 40k community is massive, and although the Age of Sigmar community is big,
it's still not.
It's not the same size, and honestly, I just don't speak the language of Age of Sigmar, right? Like it's a different game system, different set of rules, different minis, different community, different tournaments. It's
different
just
lore.
There's just so much difference.
Yeah. I mean, well, similar lore, sort of.
And I love you Age of Sigmar people, but
if you're
I just don't have the time.
It's also hard to do, like you said, battle reports if you're not familiar with everything.
Now, old world Warhammer.
That's pretty good for Anvil of War and stuff, but I guess we like you said, Capital City Bloodbath.
Yeah, so the topic of this video was to talk about Capital City Bloodbath. I got sidetracked. I like talking.
That's okay.
These things happen.
That's why your personality.
Yeah. Cheers. I gotta catch up. I'm still on my first beer because I've been talking so much. So Capital City Bloodbath is in about 2 weeks, and the Hammer House crew is going to be going down. The Anvil of War crew, who a lot of the Anvil of War crew is Hammer House anyways.
Yes.
We're all going down together.
Now, you said you're going to be doing, basically stuff there, taking videos and stuff. You're going to be doing battle reports of some of the.
In an ideal world, I would love to do tournament battle reports.
Yep.
I think that's very difficult. Also, probably very frustrating for an opponent. in a competitive setting because
Yes.
you like want to play the game, you want to win.
And there's a camera guy going
And
around.
like, there's a guy just being like, let me get some shots of this, you know, like I don't think it would work. I think where it would work would be at a local gaming event where all the prizes are raffled off and winning doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, yeah.
You
And
know
also,
what I
I think you'd have to have an area set up specifically, like you tried to do for CTC, is have your table with the cameras, like that's what you're filming. Like you have it set up like, we're gonna come in, we're just gonna film the game.
Did you guys do that? Did you film that game?
We filmed the last
Was
game.
that you guys?
Yeah.
That was really cool.
So you guys are gonna be there. Unfortunately, you won't be able. Like you said, you won't be able to do the tournament battle of points. It's a lot harder.
No, I don't think Cal will see Bloodbath. And personally, I'm going in and I want to win.
Yes.
I want to do fairly well. You can usually tell in the tournament by game 3 if your list has what it takes, because game 1, go in there, blow it out of the water, you win. The first game is always completely random, right?
Yeah.
Like who you get,
You
never know. Like, and it's just anybody, right? So let's say you go in and you win. The next game you're going to play is going to be against someone else who won just as well as you did.
Oh, so now you're at the same level now. Like,
Yes,
basically
and that's where it's like, okay, maybe your first opponent
You got
was a
lucky.
newer player
Yeah.
or like was a bad list or whatever, and you're going up against someone who is a power player,
like
and
TJ
crush
or
somebody like
Jay.
TJ Lanigan or like Nick Nanavati or Jim Vessel type
Jim Vessel,
thing,
yeah.
who are all going to be at Cup City.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, it's going to be a big
I'm gonna have
event.
to show up. I'm gonna have to go in.
I think you should come and check it out.
Yeah.
Like, it's a really cool tournament.
Yeah. So that like
They're
you
going to be
said-
doing the live stream on the table too.
Oh, they will be.
Yeah, Canhammer does that.
Good.
So,
Awesome.
yeah, they always have a table. They did at TGX as well, because Canhammer is everywhere.
Yeah.
Canhammer's everywhere. I see you guys.
Yeah, and that we're hoping to piggyback on some of their stuff. So.
Well, I think it'd be really cool just to work with Canhammer
Yeah.
anywhere, because Canhammer is vast. There's
Yeah.
a lot of people that play with them. They have a lot of players, in their clubs,
So-
under their banner.
Now, have you played TJ, Jim, or Nick?
I have not had the ability to, or the opportunity really, to share a table with any of the bigger names in the Warhammer community. I say that, but all my opponents are big names to me. Like, I always kind of meet these people, and we have a great game of 40K. And I connect with everybody, right? Like, I'm like, hey, you on Instagram? Are you on Facebook? Like, how can we get in touch? Because, like, I'm going to be at the next event. You know what I mean? Are you?
And I think social media has really helped the Warhammer 40K community so much. Because you're right, before, you'd have to get the mail or pay attention to the Whiteboard magazine and go, oh, there's a gaming event there.
In England.
In England. Honey, can we go to England for a trip?
Yeah. I have been to Warhammer World.
Oh, good.
I went last year during the winter. Side story, I went to Manchester, England for the Roller Derby World Cup because I had a few friends playing on Team Canada. And amazing time in Manchester. And Manchester is an hour and a half from Nottingham, England.
Manchester, city or Manchester? Is there two Manchesters?
Manchester City.
Manchester City, yeah.
Yeah, so Manchester City in the United Kingdom.
Oh, that's right. 'Cause they have two. So they just have
It's
two
an hour and a
football
half
teams.
north of Nottingham, and in Nottingham is Warhammer World. Yeah. So I didn't have to persuade Kenzie too much, but I was like, look, we went to the Roller Derby World Cup. We're this close. It's one train.
To me, it's like that touching of glory.
Well, she was like, yeah, let's go type thing. So like we took a train down, and we stayed in Nottingham that night. And we went to Warhammer World. And if you haven't been to Warhammer World, and you have the opportunity, because I don't think I'd ever go just to go to Warhammer World, unless you're going to like a tournament there or something, which would be sweet. I wish I could afford that. You should go.
But if you're in England for any other reason,
yeah, if you're remotely close, and if you're in Europe, flights are all cheap once you get there. So, take a Irish Air $65 flight over there, and fly to Nottingham or fly to Manchester, because they're both the same thing, really.
So, going back to more Anvil of War, I know you're
Yeah, let's talk more about Anvil of War.
Because, like I said, how long has Anvil of War been around?
So I don't want to misquote anything here, but
Okay, no.
Anvil of War has been around for about a year and a half. I joined the channel when they were still in their infancy. I kind of reached out to Ken and Adam, just because I had seen they hadn't posted any battle reports yet.
Yeah.
They had posted a couple Let's Talk Tactics, which is our bread and butter, on the channel, and some hobby videos. And I just kind of reached out to them being like, hey, I don't know who you guys are, but you know, I've seen a couple videos. I really like your production style. If you ever need a Chaos player with like a vast collection and a lot of variety, hit me up. You know what I mean? I'd love to come down and, you know, help you guys grow your channel a bit. So it was winter. I remember it was around Easter, probably maybe last year, yeah. So it's been about a year and a half. I went down to Smith Falls, and they were filming a bat rep that day. They were doing Eldar versus Orcs. And I know Orcs like the back of my hand just because I've played so many games against Orcs. And I love Orcs. Like, it was in my top 3 armies of where I wanted to go. It was, for me, my top 3 armies were Chaos, Necrons, and Orcs. And I ended up going with Chaos because availability, accessibility, cost, and
well, also
depth.
they're very, very. Yeah, I was gonna say they're very varied. Like there's tons of
like
stuff.
you're talking Chaos, like Chaos Space Marines. You know what I mean? Like everybody thinks of Chaos as like the Baroque tower armor guys,
no,
right?
but there's also the demons.
Well, you have all your contingent clan structure. So you have the Khorne variant, which is, you know, your world eaters.
Yeah.
You have Death Guard for Nurgle. You have the Emperor's Children for Slaanesh, and you got your Thousand Son.
Yeah.
You got all your Renegade chapters. You got your other 8 or 5 legions or whatever. I don't know. You guys don't matter.
4.
You got like Iron Warriors.
Well,
and something else.
Iron Warriors are
Alpha Legion.
See, like Iron Warriors, I've been reading some of the fluff about because of the Horus Heresy books and stuff like that. And I always thought Iron Warriors were sort of where we joined Chaos because where. But reading the fluff, I'm like, oh, okay, you know, I could see the bitterness building up over.
Iron Warriors are great.
You know, and for Chaos
on tabletop, they're great too.
If I was thinking Chaos, that's what I'd do, right? It's we're just going to be relentless.
Super easy to paint.
Yeah. Well, there's also that too, right?
Silver and wash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of bronze look, you know, it's there. But
yeah, use a brown wash.
Yeah.
Certain parts.
So, for Chaos, though, you're mostly.
So I felt when I got into Chaos with the Dark Vengeance box set, it was the Crimson Slaughter was the.
That's the big one from Chaos. Yeah.
They're not big. They're a Renegade chapter.
No, but I mean they're like. That's one that everyone knows, right?
What's that?
Crimson Slaughter.
Not really. Like Crimson Slaughter they're like the spooky boys. Like they're a Renegade chapter, so it means that they're not veterans of the Long War.
No, they
never existed in the war.
What's his name?
They were not there at the Siege of Terra.
The fight of Babon or whatever it is. Huron.
Oh, Huron Blackheart, the Siege of Badab.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, so he was also similar.
Yeah.
They were Red Corsairs. So.
Oh, Red Corsairs. Sorry. Yeah. The Crimson ones, the ones that. Yeah. Okay.
So Crimson Slaughter
they
were tricked by Tzeentch to go to a planet and wipe out the population.
Yeah.
Only upon wiping out the population did they realize that all these people were actually innocent, and all the souls of the whole planet haunted the chapter, and the only way that they could silence the madness that surrounded them was killing.
Yeah.
So they were known as the Crimson Slaughter because it would build up, and they would have to emerge from the warp and just slaughter everybody they could find because they were haunted by the ghosts of their past type thing.
And the Imperium's they're very stringent on things.
They're raiders and pirates. Like the Crimson Slaughter are now marked as renegades by the Imperium, and there's no turning back. You know what I mean? Like,
well, that's once you're on the list, it's like
there's some fantastic lore though. The Crimson Slaughter are really cool.
Yeah, I've read some stuff on the Warhammer Wiki page.
They were not my flagship army going in. I immediately fell in love with Khorne.
See, they don't have any tactics. Like seriously, like Khorne can't have tactics.
No, they don't. But like getting into 40k, how that translated for me is as someone who's learning the weighty 7th edition rule set was just like, okay, you know what I mean? Maybe this game is really difficult, and I'm just going to run at you and chop you, you know? So I started playing Khorne Demonkin, which was the first book that I picked up. It was back in 7th.
Yeah.
They had demons and Chaos Space Marines mixed into one codex, so a lot of my guys were getting painted red and black and bone.
I have to admit, Khorne is pretty easy to paint too.
Khorne is fun as hell. Like they're amazing, but I fell deeply in love with Khorne. Started collecting Khorne demons. Started collecting Chaos Space Marines. You know what I mean? My collection was going like this.
Yeah.
8th edition dropped, and that was where all the Nurgle stuff came out. and I love Typhus.
Typhus is his fluff and lore is just amazing.
Like he was my favorite Chaos Space Marine character that I kind of stumbled upon, and back in 7th edition, I started building a small Death Guard contingent to like ally with my army, and it never really took off. But when 8th edition dropped out, and it was like all these dedicated Death Guard models, and I was like, I have to have this. I now own everything in the Death Guard range, 3 of each thing. You know what I mean? Like I just wanted it all. And
so, what do you like better, like, or is it shared? Do you like the painting or the armies?
It's 2 different things, right? Like, you get your plastic miniatures, and you're like, oh my god, dude, you paid $60 for 10 minis? You have to build all these miniatures, which takes about 2-3 hours, you know? And it's pretty enjoyable. Like, you get to customize everything.
See, for me, because my fingers and eyes are shitty, so I'm not a big fan of putting them together. I usually pay someone, like, well, borrow a system, here's some booze, build my army.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I like building a lot, so, you know, maybe we can work something out.
Yeah. You heard the word booze for building, okay?
Yeah. I really like building stuff because I liked, well, one of the things about Chaos was there was no rules, right? So, like, you get your kits, and initially I was just building as the kit told me to. But as it went on, I'm like, I don't have to do any of this. You know what I mean? Like, look at all these bits I got. Like, I'm going to do whatever I want. And then painting was the same way with Chaos. There's just no rules. You know what I mean? Like, you have heraldry from your legions and stuff. But you're playing Chaos where you left heraldry behind.
Well, especially for me, the Emperor's Children. Like, they're just war bands now, and they have their own, like, whatever...
Everything got
it's like,
yeah.
If I get polka dots, what do I care? You know,
well, that's where my Death Guard have gone now too. It's like I've embraced, because I painted Death Guard green was like my like opening into Death Guard.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is kind of cool. And as I went on, I'm like, I'm just like not feeling the green as much, you know. And like I look like every other Death Guard army.
Yeah.
So when I started painting my demons in Nurgle, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna paint all my demons purple. Despite, you know, because purple is like a nice complementary color to green.
It's royal.
And then I'm looking at it and I'm just like, maybe I should just paint all my Death Guard purple. So I started repainting all my green Death Guard purple, and now it's known as the Purple Plague. So you can see us at local tournaments and stuff, ripping it up.
And also on battle reports on Anvil of War.
There isn't any Purple Plague out there on the internet right now.
Are you kidding me?
Gotta come meet us in person.
That's something that's gonna happen.
Some exclusivity with the Purple Plague. I want to make stickers being like, I survived the Purple Plague or something.
I love it. That's awesome.
You know what I mean? Like,
that is awesome.
I think it'd be fun.
Have you tried the new video game, Warhammer Inquisition, Martyr?
I haven't, no.
I've been playing it.
Nice.
It's awesome. Like, the detail's pretty impressive, like, because it's a lot of Nurgle things you're fighting.
Yep.
And so you have the, like, there's, again, I'm not saying, like, the ships, like, the designs and everything for Warhammer K are incredible. I mean, I know they have a lot of lore, like, over 40 years,
right?
But it's that gothic look, which I love.
Let's take a break.
Yeah. So we'll drink some beer here. Okay, we're back. We took a short break. I went for another beer. Owen and I had a little chat about other stuff, but we're gonna try and get back on. Try again to get back on topic. So next Friday, August 16th, is when it starts. It goes 16th, 17th, and 18th.
Yep.
It starts at the EY Center.
Yep.
For the Capital City Bloodbath.
Yep.
How much is the cost?
So to buy into Capital City Bloodbath, there's a couple different price ranges. Obviously, the flagship event, Warhammer 40,000. To buy into the singles event is $100. Now, $100 is like, what? That's kind of expensive for. Well, you get 6 games of 40K over 2 days. I think it's 3 and 3, which is nice, which is manageable. When I was at TGX, we played 4 games in the first day, and that is crippling.
Yeah.
Like, that is a hard day.
Same as CTC, where they had too many in one day.
They had 3 and 3, though.
Oh, they did have 3?
It was also manageable, so good job, Joe. Yeah. 4 is too much.
But you said you get a catered lunch, you said you get a catered lunch.
So Capital City Bloodbath is also known for their catered lunch, which is super great for a wargamer because it's hard enough when you're playing a game of 40K. You got to finish up before the time limit. You got to get your scores in. You got to find your next table setting. You got to pack up your army. You got to move your army. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of time to like leave and go get food. So Canhammer having the food on site I've heard it's a great lunch. I can't speak from experience, but it looked really good last year when I was visiting. It's going to be good, and it's pretty going to be exciting. So I think it's $100 is not a lot to ask, considering it's your whole weekend.
And also they said catered lunch on top of that and everything. So.
Yeah, and you're fed both days.
And there's prizes and everything.
And there's prizes. If you're going to go deep and win the whole tournament, I mean, it would be worth more than $100. So.
How do you think you guys are going to do?
I mean, it's hard to gauge an ITC event. Like, the meta is constantly shifting. I'm not someone who necessarily is going to go out and net list, which is building a list that's hot on the internet or is winning a lot of events right now. I'm someone who looks at my collection. What do I have? What do I like to play? Obviously, the Purple Plague are on tour right now, so I went from playing 60 Plague Bearers to 90 Plague Bearers. I think I'm going to go back down to 60 Plague Bearers because 6 games pushing 90 infantry models across the table is tiring. It's tiring. And you're always playing to the time limit, you know what I mean? Like, the games are slower because you're incorporating more dice rolls. I think what I'd like to do for Capital City Bloodbath, and my ambitions for Capital City Bloodbath, are to play smaller lists in terms of model count, but still incorporate the Purple Plague. Like, I think I'm on a roll with what I'm doing. I'm very familiar with the rules and how these models play, and I've kind of optimized my own play style with that. So for me, it's just incorporating new tools, and for me, I want more shooting elements into my list, so I'm going to take something that can reach out and touch my opponent, as opposed to having to run up to them and touch them.
Sorry, Death Guard don't run. Death Guard run?
It's not very fast. Yeah.
It's like a slow jog.
It's like the old man jog.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Just wait for
me. I got
me.
Plague Burst Crawlers, I got my Mythic Blade Haulers, I got Chaos Knights. I got options for what I can do to shoot things. I just found the melee list. Like at TGX, I was running 90 Plague Bearers with 2 Great Unclean Ones and a buttload of characters. And, the Plague Bearer screen was good for a little bit, but it's hard.
It's too much.
They're good board control, though. Like, an ITC is, there's a lot of... So when you play an ITC game, for those that don't know, it's different than a regular game of 40k. You don't have Slay the Warlord, you don't have First Blood, you don't have Linebreaker. Instead, you always get a point at the end of every battle round, or at the end of every turn, for killing an enemy unit and holding an objective. At the end of the battle round, you score a bonus point if you hold more objectives or if you've killed more units than your opponent. So there's always the possibility of scoring 4 victory points every battle round.
Yes.
There's always a bonus. So every mission has like a bonus thing that you can do where it's like you hold 3 objectives with 3 characters or something. How ITC is very flavorful is that every game you pick your secondaries after deployment and seeing your opponent's army. This allows you to tailor your game to the army that you're facing. So and like certain armies will be better at certain secondaries, right? Like I like to take engineers with my army because Nurglings are amazing engineers. Funnily enough.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah. Just the way that they interact with the game is they're like a perfect cheap unit that camps on objectives and scores victory points. But you can take things like Kingslayer, which they got a big badass model that happens to also be a character or a monster. Well, perfect target. You got something like Titan Slayers. You're up against an all-night list. Take Titan Slayers. You're going to get a victory point for every 8 wounds you strip off them.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you know what I mean? Like
you tailor it's definitely tailored towards your opponent as opposed to, so this is the secondary objectives.
Yeah. Yeah, like Tyranids will sometimes run multiple small units at you, and one of them is called Butcher's Bill. So you score a victory point if you kill 2 units in a turn. There's Reaper, which is score a victory point for every 20 models killed in your enemy's army at the end of the game.
Which would be good if someone who has
hordes. Right?
Hordes,
like an orc horde shows up, you're like, well, I can kill 80 models.
Easy enough. Or all your 90 Plague Bearers.
Yeah, exactly. I always tell people, it's like, take Reaper against this. Like, if you kill the 90 Plague Bearers, you get 4 victory points.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing. Like, it's a really interesting game where you always have a chance. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you're going to find it's hard to pick your secondaries, and that comes with just the game.
experience time.
Yeah, it comes with being.
Now you're also during the break. You're also talking Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Which is new this year.
No, non-competitive 40K. We're going there.
Yeah.
Apocalypse came out, which is Games Workshop's final iteration of its third game system, because obviously you have games of 40K, which are your kind of battles. You have Kill Team, which are your like small skirmish games, and you have Apocalypse, which is like grand strategy, massive armies, everything.
Like the Wolf Armageddon.
Yeah, like let's put my entire collection on the table and see what happens. Well, you can do that now, and you can do it quite quickly.
Now, there's Titans involved in those games, obviously, right?
If you have them.
If you have them, yeah.
Yeah, I don't actually own any Titans because up till now they haven't had a game mode where they can exist, right? Like, to play a regular game of 40K, you're looking at like a 2,000 point list. But when your Titan costs 5,000 points,
you can't play it.
Like what games are you playing besides the one game at Adepticon every year against other Titans?
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, just that. Actually, I'm going to plug myself here a little bit.
Go ahead.
Every once in a while, I like to run 40K Mega War in the Ottawa area. We invite all Titan players to please attend. This is a game where there's no infantry, there's no bikers, there's no beasts, and there's no cavalry.
Straight up Titans.
So it's only vehicles, monsters, and Titans.
So knights can be...
Knights are good, tanks are good,
yeah.
dreadnoughts
Flyers?
are good. Flyers are good.
Okay, yeah.
Big monsters are good. You know, anything of like the big nature, there's no... And everybody brings 2,000 points, whatever they want.
So like a Primarch works as well then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Yep.
Yeah, all the Primarchs are monsters, including Willamette.
So you hear that, people?
Bring your Titans. We had a Titan at our last 40K Apocalypse game, or 40K Mega War, sorry. It didn't do super amazing, but I don't think it had another Titan to fight, so it kind of struggled fighting Dreadnoughts and other things just because there were so many of them, right?
And something else you do at 613 is you've done Chaos in the City. Well, what?
Chaos in the Capital.
Chaos
in the Capital was a 16-man event that I ran in April. It was fun. It was a competitive event where I believe it was 17 50-point lists. It's been a while. It's been like 6 months.
No, but that's right. But you're thinking of one in the fall. So
I'm thinking of running another one in the fall.
Yeah.
I would like to team up with Red Dragon Games. I'd like to team up with Head of the Basement Podcast. Obviously, Anvil of War, if they can support me. And Hammer House will probably be there in full strength. I'd like to run another event like that. It was a lot of fun being a tournament organizer for once and not playing and kind of just getting to walk around, take photos of the armies, see who took over the day. I think what I need to do is come up with a better scoring system because I think it was kind of lost in communication, but it was shaky. It was my first event, and I think everybody had a lot of fun at the first Chaos.
So keep an eye out for 613 Chaos, Chaos in the Capital coming up. So make sure to look at the links and everything that we're going to be putting up. We've talked a lot. Is there anything else you want to like? We've plugged Red Dragon. We've plugged
let's do some like last minute shout outs. I want to do
Well, you have to shout out to your wife because
big shout out to the love of my life, Kenzie, for supporting this crazy hobby that I'm in. She puts up with a lot, but big shout out to the hobby homies. Obviously, Hammer House. Without you guys, I probably wouldn't be here anymore because you need a community to continue to survive. So without them, I wouldn't play 40K as much because I just don't enjoy most people. As bad as that sounds. Big shout out to Anvil of War. Obviously, they've given me a bigger platform to kind of evolve into, and I love supporting them and being part of their content creation. So. Big shout out to them. Big shout out to the Warpainter Studio, my buddy Marco, who is the hobby overlord here in Ottawa. He is putting out sweet painting videos. We're going to put a link in this video. If you want to check out just awesome tutorials and this very sensual voice.
Of course, Canhammer. Shout out to Canhammer.
Shout out to Canhammer. I'm going to see you guys in 2 weeks. I'm very excited to be a part of Capital City Bloodbath. I almost said Chaos in the Capital. I'm very excited to be a part of the event this year, and we're going to be doing a coverage video for Anvil of War, so we're going to be supporting you guys the only way we know, and also playing in the tournament, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, thank you very much.
Dude, cheers.
And thank you for another Patio Time with Patrick, and we'll catch you guys next time.